lamb, and they had to make an offering to God for their sin. What happened was, there would be the priest waiting for the people to bring a lamb. And so for your sin, they would do like yearly sacrifices, monthly. They have different periods in time when they had to make a sacrifice for their sin, for their family's sin and whatnot. So people would bring this lamb. They instantly knew, I have to bring a lamb. I have to bring something that will die for me. Because in Leviticus, in chapter 17, it talks about the life is in the blood. And if there was an atonement, something innocent dying for you, then you weren't able to come to the presence of God. How many of you know that in the very beginning, when Adam and Eve fell, that's when sin came upon us. That's when death, disease, all those things came into play. None of that was the Father bringing that. That was when Satan had the keys and authority. I'm going to get to that in a second. We're going to go to Matthew 4 and Matthew 28. When the person brought the lamb, they instantly had to recognize, I'm bringing this innocent animal because I'm in sin. So the person brings the animal, they receive the knife from the priest, and they cut the throat of the lamb and they kill it. What happens is, the innocence from the lamb is instantly transmitted to the person. The righteousness of the lamb is given to the person. And the sin that's on you goes to the sacrifice. And then the priest takes the animal and then cuts it up and burns it. It's a sweet fragrance. And it goes up to God. And what happens is right there you can walk away going, okay, I'm right now, I'm good in the eyes of God because something died for me because I was sinful. But no longer am I sinful. But you know what? They were periodically had to do that again and again and again. They were constantly reminded that they were in sin. And what the Ten Commandments was given to man to remind them that, hey, you are never going to be good enough no matter how much you do. It is a reminder to man that they needed a Savior and a Messiah. That's why they had the Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments was to tell you that no matter what you do, no matter how well you perform, that you're never going to be good enough to come into the presence of God. It's don't do this, don't touch that. If you do this, you're going to get killed. Don't do that, don't do this. The reason the Father gave the Ten Commandments is saying, hey, I'm going to send a Messiah that no longer is going to be based upon your works. Because how many know there wasn't just 10 Commandments? There was hundreds. There was literally hundreds. I periodically read it, and it's just bizarre. There's so many things you were not supposed to do. But in this new covenant, this new relationship, the Old Testament, which is holy and just, it's no longer in play in our lives. So, I want to get back to the person who kills the lamb, and then they receive the righteousness of the lamb. How many know in Hebrews 10? Let's just turn there right now. Let's go to Hebrews 10.